Hey guys, quick video here to talk to you about resumes and the different pieces and parts of them. So hopping right into it, first and foremost, one of the most important things, your name and contact information. This has to be easy to read and bolded right up at the top of your page. Notice how my name is the biggest thing out of anything else on this resume. That's number one, A plus important. Uh, get your contact information up there and format it so it looks nice. Second thing that we're going to go through is I want everyone to write a summary. Now, this summary is going to be catered to each job that you apply to. Obviously, you want to give a summary of yourself that's going to be a little bit different if you're applying to a construction job versus a customer service job, right? Maybe for the construction job, you're focusing on your ability to work, maybe your ability to multitask and do hard labor. Whereas if you're customer service, you're going to want to focus on the fact that you're kind and responsive and organized to give the best vision of yourself as someone who's going to be working with customers. So, but for right now, just a blanket statement about who you are as a worker. Secondly, and this is where things are going to start getting different. Remember, so this is a resume for me, and it works for me. But as we go through this, maybe you don't have the same pieces and parts to fill up this resume as everyone else does. So remember, your task is to fill one page, and that's all you get is one page to highlight yourself. And if you don't have enough to fill one page, you got to do some digging. You got to find something to showcase to sell yourself to a potential employer. So one of those things may be maybe some skills and qualifications. Everybody's got skills. Everybody's got characteristics about them that are going to be applicable to a job. So right here, I've focused on terms and words that I think describe me as a worker. Positive, active listening, active listener, a problem solver, adaptable, loyal work ethic. Those are all things that really, really relate to me. These aren't just buzzwords, but they describe me as a person. Another thing you could add in here would be like proficient at Microsoft. Remember, we're spelling things correctly. So this could be different tools and things that you're good at that might be well used in a job. Next part, this is going to be your longest part, I hope, is your experience. And remember, for at least your first resume, your experience can be a mix of activities and actual jobs. And obviously, as you get older, you're going to replace some of those other experiences and turn them into a more applicable work experience. So a couple things I want you to notice here. Notice my hierarchy, my organization of different pieces and parts of this section of my resume. So I've got my experience heading, and it matches up with my skills heading and my summary heading. And then within my experience heading, I have a list that's easy to see of, okay, here's everything that pertains to cross country. And then I skip one line. And here's everything that pertains to me being a cashier. And then I skip one line. And everything that pertains to me being a barista. And even within that, my formatting is similar. So cross country is bold and italics the same way that cashier is. The second line describing where it was and the company and the city is italicized just in the same way this is. This is the type of consistency that people look for when they're hiring folks. Because if you have a bunch of different fonts and styles and it's not easy to tell what's what, that's not showing me that you're an organized person. I don't necessarily want to work with you if you can't keep everything looking clean and nice. And then next thing I want you to notice here is look at my descriptions of what I did in cross country. So notice I don't just say cross country and say like I ran every day. I break that down and I use cross country as a method to show an employer why I might be hireable. So if I followed coach's instructions to develop skills and prepare for competition, as an employer, I want someone who's going to follow instructions and develop skills. That sounds awesome. I want someone who's going to encourage their teammates and their coworkers. So this is a way you can use maybe not super relevant work experience and spin it in such a way to show what kind of person you are and what kind of worker you can be. Next section, education. For a lot of us, this can be really, really brief. I want us to be listing our school, our expected graduation date, and then if you've got it, list your GPA. And I'd say only list your GPA if it's decent. If it's 2.5 or less, I probably would leave it off. If they really want it, they can ask you for it. But if it's good, put it on there, man. That's something to slap on and be proud of. If you've got a 3.5, drop that on there. If you've got a 3.1, drop that on there. That's going to show me as an employer that you get your work done. And that's important. And last thing, references. I am going to ask for you to have at least 3 references. I've got 2 right here. But I want you to think of at least 3 people in your life who are not immediate family. You know, you can't put your mom down for a reference. Of course, your mom's going to say, oh, yeah, she's a darling little girl. You should hire her. These need to be teachers. These can be counselors. These can be coaches. These can be current employers or former employers. Anybody that you've worked for. Anybody who can vouch for you as a person who's not an immediate family member. Right now, I want you to list who they are and what they do, or in what capacity you knew them. Make up a fake phone number for now, but before the end of this week, I actually want you to go out and contact these people. I want you to say, hey, I'm starting to build a resume. Can I put you down as a reference? You got to give them that heads up. One of the worst things that can happen is if you make it to the part in the resume process and the hiring process where you're actually checking references, that means you're in the top 4 or 3 people that they're hiring. And if they call one of your references and say, oh, hey, Mr. Gardner, I'm calling in reference to Adam Restad. He put you down as a reference. And the worst thing Mr. Gardner could do would say, Adam who? I don't remember who that person is. That's really bad. That automatically takes me out of the running. So if you let someone know, like, hey, you're going to be my reference, remember me? You had me in class last year. Give them that heads up and that courtesy so they know what to say so they're not caught off guard if a person who you're applying for gives them a call. Cool. Those are the pieces and parts. Your task is to build your own resume using this template or one that you find online. Good luck. Holler with questions.